I feel like I'm not here.
You are. Or you wouldn't be talking to me.
There's no pain. I feel everything. I'm aware of everything. Every part of me. And they all feel like they're separating and floating away. And when they're gone, some inner part of me will just collapse on the floor.
Have you had this before when you drank?
Just once, in Tijuana. But after a while, it started to feel good, really good.
What do you mean good?
I don't know, really. I drove down to Tijuana with my boyfriend and his best friend. I was 18 and I'd always wanted to go, so Sam finally said he would take me. There were all kinds of hawkers on the street selling everything you could imagine. Leather belts and wallets and bullhorns and stuff like that. It was really hot, so we started drinking beer. And we must have gone through at least 3 6-packs when we stopped into this dirty Mexican joint for dinner. Everything in Tijuana is dirty. And this was probably the nicest dive of the bunch. And Stam started urging me to drink tequila, and so I thought, why not? And after a while, it started to feel, I started to like it. So I kept drinking, and before I knew it, I was in this sleazy striptease joint watching these fat Mexican girls take off their clothes. And that's when I started feeling really weird, like now. I was really just so aware of everything. Mostly, I could just hear the screaming and yelling, those guys hooting at those ugly girls. I mean, I could really feel it. I don't know if I heard it. And then I ended up on stage, and I don't know how I got there. And all of a sudden, it was silent, dead, silent. It was so beautifully peaceful, and I was happy, really happy. And I just started swaying, one with time, one with everything. And my clothes were holding me back from something, so I started taking them off. And because it stayed silent, I knew it was right. I had to keep the silence.
Are you sure that it wasn't a dream?
And then I started shaking violently, and it was all ending, and I just started crying. And then I ended up home in bed.
Are you sure that it wasn't a dream?
Sam came over the next day, and I could tell he was really mad. He was always such a raving martyr when he was mad, just like my mother. He said I'd made an ass out of him in front of his best friend. That's funny.
Why?
Because later, after we split up, the guy asked me for a date.
Are you on medication or something?
Of course not.
What about pep pills?
Why, do I look peppy or
No,
something?
but you're acting pretty strange.
Well, of course. I just told you I've been through something like this before. This has happened to me. You have cute knuckles. Can I rub them?
Not unless I'm completely sure that you're okay.
Really nice lips. Did I ever tell you that? The first time I saw you on the bus, I thought to myself, that man has really nice lips. I like his lips. It's the first thing I always notice about someone. I think it's because I don't have nice lips.
Your lips are fine.
They're too thin, especially the upper one.
You have wonderful lips. Now, I've got a great idea. Why don't I make some coffee?
But I'm starting to feel good now.
Are you sure?
Real sure. I forgot to ask you about your report. How did that go?
Well, I told Mr. Jenkins at the board about the need for better medical coverage, and they voted it down. Jenkins only wants to pay half coverage, and that's all it's going to pay. I guess the next step will be the union.
Why don't you quit that job and go back to school? You don't belong there.
It's not that I don't belong in a bank. But you're right, maybe I don't belong at Independent Savings. I just thought a small and struggling outfit would be an easier place to advance. But it's just as bad. Nobody listens to anybody else. It's all red tape and confusion like any other bank.
Are you going to quit?
I don't know. I'm mulling it over. Maybe I should just open a hamburger stand where I could be my own boss.
Sounds great. Can I be lead waitress?
Sure. We'd make a great team. Now, how about that coffee? Powerful. Hey.